All right, Anthony on Air podcast. Thanks for joining us for another episode. Maybe they're born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. I'm not sure. But Frankie C and J Sabs are here. How you guys doing?
Great.
Doing all right.
Happy to be back with this threesome.
Was I too loud at the beginning of this? I feel like I jolted you a little bit.
No, we're good. We're good. We just
Okay.
You caught us off guard.
Okay.
You did.
I put on serious broadcaster voice. That's why I think you guys were all.
Hello.
About time.
Let's talk about Ken and Karen, this couple from St. Louis that was out in front of their home pointing an AR-15 and a handgun at protesters. There's a lot of video. There's even some pictures. We are losing our minds here. But this is one of those things that I think is going to get stuck in the ethos of this time period. Of like,
Couple of nut jobs.
Look at how insane things got. If you haven't seen it, I mean,
not to mention the fact that at one point he holds the gun and points it inadvertently towards his wife. He's just standing there, and the barrel's right at her.
first of all, I think what's so jarring about, and I want to bring up one of the static images here. I think what's so jarring about this is you look at this couple and who they are. They should be on a life insurance commercial or pumping the benefits of Viagra in life and all that stuff. And there should be some sort of oldies hit that's been repurposed to sell some new medication, and they should be smiling at one another with his stupid pink shirt and her striped Abercrombie look. It's weird to see him holding a gun and her holding a handgun, which, by the way, none of them look like they are qualified for or could properly operate.
Mm-mm.
No, they look like he looks like he's holding like a dog in his arms. and she looks like she's like holding, I don't know, a remote control or something. Like they have no training on how to hold this thing. And
that's what she said.
It's painful.
She is
it's
holding,
very obvious.
To your point, Frank, she is holding that handgun the way a spouse holds the remote control when the other spouse is complaining that they never find the right thing to watch. She's like it's down a little bit.
I've got it now. So
what are you looking for?
Do?
Yeah, and you're right. He's holding that like a guy holds a Shih Tzu that he's like he doesn't really want to be holding. He's just like, well, how long do I have to hold the Shih Tzu?
What do I do with this?
Yeah,
this is getting heavy.
Like any other middle-aged.
I mean, they've got to be breaking some kind of law there, no?
Probably not.
He's holding that gun like any other middle-aged man who's afraid to, connect on an emotional level with another living being.
Oh, God.
Like, I mean,
there's got to be a law.
Violence is the answer.
Like, to me, all right, now listen, when you have an angry, is gaggle a word? An angry large group of people. Is gaggle a word? Why did I think gaggle?
Gaggle.
Is it a word?
It is.
Okay. When you have a lot of people and they're in the streets and they're chanting and they're holding up signs, no matter what the cause is, we just have a large amount of people coming near you. It could be a little like, all right, you get a little.
That's
like,
true.
What's happening
Yeah,
there?
but I guarantee that if they didn't step out of their house, nothing would have happened.
Absolutely nothing would have happened.
Nothing. The people would have just walked by their house, and these people would never have become anything. But they had to walk outside.
Unless they had Trump signs.
I don't know. Oh, and you mean like if they had like a Trump sign on their lawn?
Right. Or flags.
Oh, I didn't see any of that. But
somebody.
All I'm saying is they if they never came out of their house.
Somebody turned them into a movie poster.
I love it. I saw that too.
They just look so unnatural. By the way, he's not wearing any shoes, which is a real problem for me.
Oh, God, no.
Their house.
Where was this again?
Is in St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Like their house is it's a huge house. And the reason why I bring it up is not because it's like, oh, they have a huge house, they have nothing to worry about. But I'm sure there are security cameras. and whatever on there to catch any sort of wrongdoing that would occur, which I think would be like minimum, like somebody would knock over the mailbox or something by accident.
Right.
Stay inside your stupid house. Like it's gonna.
They weren't on your property.
They weren't coming for you.
They were just walking by, and maybe they were chanting something. I didn't listen to it, but
Kill Ken and Karen. Kill Ken and Karen.
they.
I mean, it's so like, I think I look at it and I see these images and I'm just like, this is one of those points that we've reached where it's like, we all got to like take a step back and just calm down a little bit. Like you don't like, I know, like I said, I know a lot of people chanting things out there. Could be like I've been like, I'll never forget this. The Yankees win the World Series in '96, right? It's their first like World Series. In our neighborhood, like the boulevard was crazy. And there was like that moment where I was kind of like, I should go back home. Like I'm not a Yankee.
Yeah, but you weren't afraid of anybody.
No,
like,
I wasn't afraid, but I was like, I feel like I shouldn't be here. Like, I'm going to go, like, this is, like, everybody's getting crazy and excited, and there's drinking, and there's this and that. I'm going to go home. Like, this was just my, go ahead, Jenny.
Oh, just to your point, because myself, Gaetano, and Anthony, and another kid, and maybe Nick too, I don't even know if he came or not, we went to the Yankee parade when they won back in the 90s. And we all left because we were scared.
Yeah, like
some kid in front of us got hit with a bottle on his head, and we were like, "Yep, we're leaving." And we left. It didn't even start.
Really?
We were like, nah.
Yeah.
It got very like hostile. I don't even know why.
Because anytime you put a group of people together, we get more stupid by the person. You add another person, you add another level of stupidity. And it's just all, that's why when sports teams win a championship, they wind up burning down the city and flipping over like, it makes no sense whatsoever, you know?
I think we'd be smarter as a group.
No, we are dumber.
We all get together, we should like combine our intellect, not our like hostility. But they weren't even doing anything. It sounds like we're blaming the protesters.
We're not blaming the protesters. No, not at all.
They were fine. There was nothing to be afraid of.
My point is like we were driving back from the beach like a week or two ago, and there was a protest in West Hampton Beach. Okay. And my son asked me about it. My son's 4. And I go, oh, those people are protesting. I didn't know what to say. I'm like, oh, they're protesting. They're just... He's like, what are they protesting? Why are they? Because he saw cops and everything. He's a kid, he's like, what's going on? I'm like, they're angry. So they're out on the streets and they're walking around and this and that.
Bless you.
And bless you, Janine. And he goes, oh, can we go see it? And I was like, I know I could have drove closer to it, but I was like, no, I'm not going near that. I don't even know what was over there. Peaceful as hell, whatever it was, it's insignificant. The point is like anytime there's a huge group of people, there's a potential to be like this weird, like there's a potential for something to go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my point is
you didn't get out of your car.
Right. But my point is with that being said, there's no reason to go out there and point a gun at that. And be like, I'm just gonna because I feel like you're saying something in that situation, like it's like you're
daring people, like, hey, test me
a little bit. It's not even a dare, a little bit of a dare, but you're taking it. You're saying you're ready to take it to another level, which is like, And I mean, any law enforcement person will tell you the last thing they want to do is unbutton that little button and pull that gun out. That's the last.
You don't want to introduce a gun into the crowds. That's just asking for it to get out of hand.
And these
people, they had no reason to do any of that. And there's got to be, like I said, there's got to be some kind of law for pointing a loaded gun at people.
Yeah, the thing is we haven't been able to figure out how to prosecute stupid just yet. I mean, and look at her face too. Look at the look on her. She's like, I don't want to watch this TV show anymore. That's the look she has on her face. It's just like, go back in your homes.
Do you know she's holding it like she's watering the garden? She's holding it.
Yeah, just not even looking at where it's going.
Right.
Like, why do I have to water the garden? Can you water the garden, Peter? You know?
Or what is it, Ken?
Or Ken. And Ken looks like he's about to say, you know, I suffered from low T, and now...
Right. And now I've gotten it.
Now I'm taking Sunesta. I don't even know if Sunesta's a thing. It's just in my... I don't know if that's allergies.
Is that
I don't know what it is.
Cialis. That's what it is.
Doesn't
Not that I would know.
I just saw this and I'm just like, this is one of those moments where it's like, everybody's going to take a breath, just calm down. Like there's no reason to be, you know, but there's some crazy sicko weirdo people out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Of course there are.
First of all,
no matter where you go.
And by the way, I'm against this wave of pink shirt wearing that we're doing in America. I'm against this. And nothing against.
Why are you against pink shirt?
It's too much salmon. Like too much like salmon. Like you're just. It's. I don't like trends, and this is such a like. I'm gonna wear my salmon shirt with my white pants and and my sandals. Like, stop it. Stop with that.
Aww.
And
it's a step away from tying a sweater around your neck.
And wearing boat shoes when you're not on a boat.
Yes. Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Feel like that guy in remember that kid in Goodfellas when they go to the club on the date and that kid walks up with that weird ass tennis racket and that douchebag.
You're against douchebags. That's the point.
I'm very anti douchebaggery. I think
we could all relate. We're all against douchebags.
If this guy is wearing a gray shirt, it's not as bad. The fact that he's wearing a salmon shirt annoys me just this much more.
Yeah.
Not so much the gun, it's the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
If you're brandishing a gun like this more on the level of annoyances here, this is it with gray shirt. This is it with salmon shirt. I don't know. It just takes it up a little bit for me. It's just a little annoying.
I get it.
Yeah.
She's got the striped shirt like they're a bunch of sailors.
And she's got like her hand on her hip like she's waiting online to return something at Bed Bath & Beyond. You know, it's like, yeah.
She's holding a glass. You could Photoshop out the gun and put a glass of wine and it'd be the same pose.
That's true.
We should put a glass of wine in her hand and a Shih Tzu in his and see what that looks like.
That would be the day before.
Mr. Woods member.
Yesterday they did that. The day before this protest walked by their house.
Right, that's what
they were doing. They're standing on their lawn with wine and a Shih Tzu.
Right.
Yeah. But kudos to all the protesters who just literally saw the level of insanity. This is like when you're, by the way, this is, I don't know if this is that common in St. Louis, but in New York, this is extremely common because there's not a day that goes by in Manhattan that you don't walk by some psychopath mumbling some crazy ass shit to themselves.
It's true.
Or doing something absolutely insane. And you're just like, just don't even look at them. Just keep going.
Just don't make eye contact.
I miss that.
Do you?
I do.
That's one thing I could do without. Someone pulling focus from, and you just want to just keep going. You're afraid you make eye contact. You're going to end up business partners with this guy for some reason. It's not a good situation to be in.
Oh, I miss the guy. I only saw him once. He just pulled out his penis on the subway. But you're right. Most of the train just looked away like they didn't see it.
Oh, God. But what an impact he left on your life.
He did. I still tell that story.
But that's just what you do. You just go, okay, there's the crazy thing, and I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to...
That's what you got to do. That's New York, and we're used to that. I guess, what was it, St. Louis?
St. Louis, which is a big city. It's a big,
yeah, but I'm sure they're not used to that as much as we are.
I wonder.
I just can't wait to see what the comments are going to be to Janine sipping that.
I know, sipping that big jug of.
That's not water.
Be like the homely drug addict. Can she sip any louder? I don't get it.
I thought I had way more than I did in this big ass jug.
By the way, isn't that the worst feeling in the world when you're just taking a big sip?
Yeah. You're like, wait.
And it runs more. Oh, it runs dry on you, and you just needed like 2 more sips to be satisfied.
That's it.
Oh, that's the worst feeling ever. I hate that. I really, really hate that.
Yeah.
As much as I hate a guy in a salmon collared shirt pointing an AR-15 at me. That's basically.
Man, I should have worn my salmon colored shirt today.
That would have been great. That would have been great if you did that. All right, let's
I
get
didn't
back
even
to things that you would recognize if you grew up in the 90s. I could never do this. Do you remember the string games where the girls to
Oh,
me?
I could
I
never
do
do that.
remember that. Yeah, I couldn't do it either. And I
couldn't
was a
do-
girl.
Someone would hand it to
Still
me,
am.
and
Yeah.
I'd take it and go, I don't know what to, now what? And
Right,
you'd
what
have
do
to
you
learn.
do?
There's like one way to do it, and you can't.
No, you can't.
You do this, and then you're like, all right, I'm done.
Only the smart girls knew how to do it.
I swear it was only girls for me because like in school it would be only the girls. Then I remember like going to like a family party and like only the girl cousins could do it. Like all the guys.
Yeah,
were like,
where
"Oh."
did that start? Was that like a handed down thing? I mean, someone had to start that,
I don't
Had
know.
and then, right? It's a family thing. I feel like people in like grandparents did that.
Again, it was one of those things where it was like that's how viral things happened back in the day. It was like,
One person did it
Yeah.
and then showed
Yeah.
their family, then showed their friends, right?
okay, do you remember stacking point pencils where you could literally put one cap onto the end of another and you could put like 7 pencils together? Do you remember that?
No.
I don't.
And like inside the pencil itself was just a sharpened point, and you would use it, and it would run out, and you would pull it out and put it back on the top, and you'd push down the next point on the bottom, which would be a sharpened pencil.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember this?
No.
I don't.
They weren't wooden pencils.
I can't see the picture, so
They were plastic. Yeah, well, you guys have the thing, so you could follow along if you have your phone on you. It's 129 on Pop Sugars, things you'd recognize if you grew up in the 90s. It would be this little plastic tip. Let me see if I can get a little closer for you guys. You see it?
Oh,
It would be a sharpened tip right there, and that would, once that went down, you'd yank it out, you'd put it on the back of the pencil and push down, and it would push down the next sharpened pencil, and that's how it would go.
cool. I don't remember those.
And then you could like connect them all together, and you could put like 19 of them
I
together.
wasn't cool enough.
All right, what else you got here?
Okay,
find
Scholastic
it.
book fairs.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, this just came up in our friend chat the other day, this meme, which I don't know if I'll see if I can bring it up, but it had me laughing hysterical of like rolling into the Scholastic fair with a bunch of money that your parents gave you with an eye on that $3 Lamborghini poster. And that made me laugh so hard because I remember that
You do.
stupid Lamborghini poster. And it was always close to like where you would pay. Like, remember they would come in with those huge, if for the younger kids out there, they would come into your gymnasium with these huge metal things and they would open them up and there would be just
Oh yeah.
books
That's
in
right.
there. Right?
Those were amazing.
Just be like books and books and books. And they were like it was like you could go in there with like $8 and get 19 books, and like different weird pencil things. And a lot of the troll dolls came, like the troll top things came from like
Oh yeah.
Scholastic book fairs. And there would always be like some cooler stuff like towards the back, like a Lamborghini poster or like a folder or something like that. And that was the Scholastic book fair. That was a big deal back
I
in
used
the
to
day.
go for the Goosebumps books,
Me too.
Goosebumps books.
and then I
were-
would dare myself to read them because I never really read them.
Yeah.
Why
You guys-
not?
So I looked at it and went, "This is a book. I'm done."
Look at
Oh,
him.
you
He can't
didn't.
read.
You didn't like to read.
No, I read, but not when I went to these book fairs. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this," and I just lost interest in it.
Well, and then they would. Well, how
Wow,
about this?
Frank.
There would always be like a catalog so that you could see stuff ahead of
Yes.
time,
Yes.
and then
What
you'd
book was
circle
coming
like
out?
the coolest stuff, and they'd be like, "No, we're out of that," because they went to like
Yeah.
7 schools before yours.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
was always bookmarks. You have to order bookmarks too.
Do you guys remember Kudos bars?
Yes.
Are those still around?
Wait, I have to see the whole picture. Move it a little bit.
I don't know if Kudos bars specifically are around.
Oh, I don't think they're around anymore, but I do remember
I
them.
think they are.
I don't think so, Frank.
Okay.
Let's look. Fine.
looking
if,
it up
if they're
right
around,
now.
then you have to buy it for me.
Kudos. No.
But that's a deal. No, that's a
That's
deal.
a deal.
That's a
They're like
I
Yes.
didn't
podcast.
agree to that at all.
That's a podcast deal. You walked into it though. You didn't have to agree to it.
He backed right into it.
Yeah. Here's what I loved about this, and this is in this picture. It says incredibly delicious, surprisingly nutritious. And I just remember my mom like giving me those and being like, they're healthy for you. It says nutritious on the box. Like, look at it. It's basically a chocolate
They were
candy bar
chocolate
with
covered,
Snickers.
right?
What?
They were chocolate covered.
Yeah, it was like a granola bar or
Yes.
Rice Krispie bar, and it had like M&Ms or Snickers on top, and then it was like covered in chocolate. It was like the most non-healthy thing.
They were good though. I do remember always eating them.
They were delightful. There was something about granola though that just fooled everybody in the 90s. It was like if we give you a speck of granola covered in sugar and chocolate, it's healthy, and we were like, okay, yeah, I think that checks out.
Right. And now
and now we just know so much more.
now there's
still
501
around.
bars to make you shit.
They're still around?
Come on, Frank.
Oh wait. I'm sorry.
So you owe her a package of Kudos bars.
No, it looks like they're not. Okay, they were discontinued.
When?
May of 2011.
Wow, so it wasn't that far away.
No.
That was a good run though. Kudos. Okay.
Kudos to you.
American Girl dolls. Do you remember that?
I thought those were still around. No.
They are still around.
I think so. Do they still have the stores and stuff though? Like where they like
They do.
you could have
But I
like
thought they were like, maybe it was like 2000s, not 90s.
Yeah, I never heard of them until after like I got out of school.
I think they started in the 90s and they blew up in popularity after that.
That makes sense. I don't remember those in the 90s at all.
Yeah, let's see here. New Kids on the Block.
Oh,
Of
yes.
course.
I love them.
Man, are we manufacturing boy bands anymore? I don't really know.
No, it's K-pop now.
What? But
Yeah,
now
Paige
K-pop.
just got them now.
No. Who's the what's the BTS? Is that the group?
I think so, yeah.
Now, are they manufactured or are they like legit? I don't know. There's like 40 guys in that group. They gotten out of hand.
I have no idea.
I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're for real.
I'm not up to speed on my boy band knowledge.
We haven't had like a real boy band since like NSYNC and 98 Degrees. And Backdoor Boys. I mean, Backstreet.
I want to go back to those days where you just get like 4 kids from Orlando, whose parents aren't good parents.
Saying, damn it.
Oh.
You could just see it in their eyes. They had no childhood and none of this matters now. They just, drag them around the country.
Hey, a lot of them, I'm sure, are grateful for their lives now. They're living off of that stuff.
Not anymore. They spent all that money. Didn't that guy steal all their money too?
Yeah, their manager
Yeah,
like took a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
we got Timberlake became a huge star.
Oh, him. But the others, not so much.
Fatone's doing all right, I think.
Yeah, but
Yeah, he was on, Masked Singer.
Yeah,
He's
Fatone.
also on Impractical Jokers, and he has his own hot dog company.
I was gonna say he's got a food thing going on.
Footlongs or
Whatever you want, Janine.
Fat ones.
Whatever
They're
Whatever
fat
makes
ones.
you
Let's
happy.
pretend
Janine.
it's footlongs.
Okay.
Do you remember? Fatone's barely hanging on though. Don't you feel like he's barely hanging on to that money?
C-list.
Yeah. Well, they all. Go ahead.
Well, the kid from Backstreet Boys. Nick, what was his name? The blonde one.
Carter? Is that one of the
Yes.
Nick Carter?
Oh, he was bad. Like he had a drug problem and he never recovered from it, I don't think.
Yeah, his brother too. Didn't he have a brother
Yep.
that kind
A
of had a
younger
hit?
brother, yep.
Yeah.
See?
Cupcake surprise dolls. Did you have any of these, Janine? Where I think if you like the
I'm trying to move it.
the top was like a cupcake. The top of the like I think if you like put it, and I think there was like a carrying case where you like put them in like a carrying case and they look like a cupcake, and then you pick it up and it was like a doll.
Oh,
I remember there was stuff like that. There was a whole like surprise line. There was like puppy surprise and other stuff like where it was like a plush doll and then like you turn it
yes.
inside out and there's something
Yes.
else.
yes, you're right, Frank.
Right? There was all these surprise things.
Yeah, and minis. Like I
Google
said this prior. They love to shrink things down, just micro machines and
So you lose them and you have to buy more of them.
yeah. Do you remember Orbit's
Genius.
soda? I don't remember Orbit's soda.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a regional thing. It was like a sparkling soda. I do remember Pepsi Clear. That was good times.
Me too. Oh, that was a good one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Boy, a lot of these are like just like one of them is Britney Spears. Like that's
That's easy. Come on.
Yeah,
Move on,
maybe
huh?
I've heard of her.
Let's see here. I want to get to good ones. Sky dancers. I think I remember this. You'd like flick them and they'd like spin in the sky.
I think those are still around too. Like they like launch from a thing and they just
Different
spin
name
like a
though, right?
helicopter.
Yeah, they're a
don't
different name now. Oh my god, this just took me back. Dear Lord, holy crap. I actually just had that. You ever have that feeling where you're just like literally like transported?
Yes.
What do you got?
I've
hard
not
to see. I
seen this
can't see
since the
any.
90s. Disney Adventures. Did you guys have this magazine? I did. It was like a magazine just for kids, our age. It was literally just for us. I think I might have gotten it at a Scholastic thing too.
Probably. I was just gonna say you probably got it in the book fair.
The only kids magazine I liked was the one you saw at the dentist office. What the hell was it?
Oh yeah,
What
with the tree.
The tree. Oh yeah, the tree. On
What's
the
it
cover.
called?
Yeah, and then
Something with an
and
H.
then highlights.
There you go. Wow, I'm
And they had
good.
to find the hidden thing and the hidden objects.
Yes.
And some jerk would circle them, so you can't play the game anymore.
Oh. With the marker.
I can't believe you guys didn't have Disney Adventures. This was such a part of my childhood.
Definitely not cool enough.
I think it was like a magazine drive. Like I think because you had to buy like a certain amount of magazines. This was one of the magazines that we picked. Remember that back in the day, the magazine drives. Beanie Babies, huge part of the 90s. Everybody like this was one of those things too, where the Beanie Babies, where like Cabbage Patch and all that kind of shit, and it was like there would be that story about how it was worth so much money, and and you got to have a collection. And then every idiot went out there and like had to have like buy the special. Yeah, I'm gonna raise my hand too, Janine. It's you're not alone. You're not by yourself.
I maybe had a couple of them. Sure. Who didn't have them?
You know, you're like, I'm gonna get the Nick Carter Beanie Baby. It's gonna be worth a ton of money.
I'm sure that today they've got to be like there's probably a handful of them that are worth like in the thousands, right? There's got to be like a few rare ones.
Yeah, probably like 3, and the rest of them are worth like $2.99.
Like
Touch your face,
of
Frank.
course.
Yeah, wipe the digital away from your face.
Wipe away the digital jizz.
Tailspin. Do you remember Tailspin?
Yes.
Remember it? I still watch it.
What is that?
It's the cartoon version of Cheers.
Oh god.
What?
That checks out.
Yeah, it's Baloo. It was a cartoon in the 90s, along with Darkwing Duck and Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, it was in that sort of thing where he flies a plane, right? Doesn't he fly a plane or something?
Yeah, and it's so a ripoff of Cheers, it's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
It really is. He
Really?
owns the. Well, listen, I don't still watch it today, but I know that I used to watch it. I was a big fan when I was a kid. And he owns this airplane, and a woman named Rebecca buys the company, and he now has to fly for her. Now, in Cheers, Sam owns the bar. Then a woman named Rebecca buys the bar, and now he has to work for her. And that's just one of the similarities.
Why did he have to work for her?
Because it was his bar. He doesn't want to leave it.
Oh, just like it was his
And it was
plane.
his plane. Yeah.
Do you remember making soda can top jewelry? I don't remember
Yes,
that. Out of the
I
pull
did.
tab? Really?
I do remember that.
You ever make anything as
Sounds
nice
like
as this?
I collected it. I did not look like that.
Sounds like a good way to cut your fingers.
These things were the weirdest things. Rubber coin purse keychains. Do you remember these?
That sounds familiar, yeah. And you just like pinch them and they would open up.
It was that
Oh,
oval
yes,
with the slit in the
yes.
middle. You'd pinch it, it would open it up, and when you weren't pinching it, it would
It
just
looked like
stay.
something.
It would stay closed. Exactly, Janine. It was probably the first time.
Someone that's the
Huh?
original fleshlight.
Oh God. Way to take an innocent thing.
No, Mom, I'm good in here.
I laughed even harder because you were struggling to find it, and then you actually found it. It was
yes.
so great.
Fleshlight.
Flashlight.
That was like the end of Cool Runnings when you fucking finally got to Fleshlight. I was just so happy. I was going to slow clap.
Oh God.
The Babysitter's Club, popular book series.
I read
Never
every
read it.
single book.
Yeah. Rabbit's Feet. Remember? Did you have
Yes,
a rabbit's
sure.
I feel like Frank had a rabbit's foot.
Yes.
I definitely had a rabbit's foot.
I never had a rabbit's foot. I think this is fucking disgusting.
It was.
It
but
is.
Why? It
The
was
only
for good
reason I
luck.
had it is because I won it at the feast at OLG.
Yeah. I never got the rabbit's feet thing. I hated it. The idea of somebody lopping off a rabbit's foot and being like, here, this is good luck. It's like, no, I don't want a rabbit's foot. And on top of that, even if it's not a real rabbit's foot, I don't want something like fuzzy that gets wet in my pocket or on the foot. It dries and it's all sticky looking and all weird. Like that does not belong on a keychain.
Maybe
wet in your pocket.
the original fleshlight.
The original flashlight. All right, as we wrap up here, by the way, we can't put a dent in this friggin' list. There's like 375 things, and we're only up to 166. Driving me crazy. But 5-song challenge, the Hold Steady. You both listened?
Yes.
Okay, who wants to go first?
Did.
I'll go first because I'll be quick.
Okay, go ahead.
I felt like a lot of it sounded like Dave Matthews.
Really?
Ooh.
I did.
Why is that?
Is that just because like the lead singer's voice kind of sucks? Is that why?
Oh, thank you. I thought I was going to have to fight with that.
No.
Holy crap.
It was like they were too happy for me. Is that like make sense?
No, that because they sing about the most depressing shit ever.
It was just like it was maybe too poppy for me.
I did put.
You listen to Britney Spears.
I did.
Yeah, but my loneliness is killing me. And
Yeah, she's
I
definitely
did,
on drugs.
I did put a lot of.
heavy drugs.
I did put a lot of their more fun party rock, like where you're driving, you put on a banger, that kind of. I put a lot more of those in. I only put like one slow one in because I felt like after Janine picked the Blink-182 songs, Frank complained that they all sounded the same. So I was like, I'm gonna go with all their like happy, like let's go rock out tunes, and I'm gonna put in one depressing one. But they got a lot of depressing.
They
songs.
do. Okay, good. Maybe I like this better.
My biggest problem is the singer, man.
His voice too much.
Oh my god, I can't do it.
He has a unique voice. It's not a great voice, but like Dave, him, Kurt Cobain, like there's like a bunch, Janis Joplin, like there's a bunch of artists that aren't traditionally
I don't like Janis Joplin either.
You would call good singers, but they are great. They pull it off. I feel like this guy pulls off that like nasally, like Brooklyn-y, I'm gonna mumble on rock music voice.
Not my style, man. Can't do it.
So you absolutely hated it.
The songs, they barely made sense. The lyrics. My biggest problem is the singer and the vocals. All the vocals. Take out all the vocals. The music wasn't bad. But the singing and the lyrics need a lot of help.
Okay.
I don't know.
Am I wrong? I mean, I feel like that.
But there were some hits in there. Constructive Summer and Sequestered in Memphis and
hits.
And Stuck Between Stations. Those are like they charted. They're like bona fide hits. Like they charted.
Maybe they charted in the Hamptons, but come on.
No. Like nationally, like not like charted. Like honestly, the station that I was on didn't play half of their shit because it was too hard for them. But I liked them a lot.
Too hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like
0 for 2.
It's definitely a style they got, but it's not my style.
I don't know if we could find a group that's not Metallica or in Metallica's opening repertoire that you're going to like.
There are many groups that I like that are not Metallica.
Should we go back? Like, should it be Janine's turn? Like, Janine will pick another band, and then we'll go back and forth until we get you to like something?
I don't know if I can handle it again. Can I give you guys? I mean, you already like Metallica, though, right, Anthony?
Yeah, I already like it. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you picking songs would be no.
I don't have to convince you guys.
No, I like Metallica.
I don't know about Janine.
I think Janine likes them. Like, I don't think she hates them.
I don't hate them.
Yeah, all right. I'll take it.
It's not my genre of music, but they're good at what they do. Obviously.
Okay. Accepted. So you don't have to listen to any. I won't issue a challenge for that.
All right.
We're going to have to find some music for Frank.
I think we have to continue.
I like music.
I don't think you do. I think you like Metallica and whoever opened for Metallica.
Who opens for Metallica?
I've seen other bands. I like other bands. I don't go to just Metallica shows.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to hear this list.
I've gone to 9 Inch Nails. I've gone
Hold
to
on, hold
Imagine
on,
Dragons.
I'm gonna write one down because when you get to it, I want to just prove that I knew what you were gonna say. Wait, so you saw Nine Inch Nails?
Say it again. I lost you.
You saw 9 Inch Nails?
Yes,
Okay, but
I
that's
saw them 3 times.
kind of like a Metallica. Okay, now you can
It is
see.
not like a Metallica.
I'm gonna hold my phone like this so you can see I'm not.
It's electronic and very different. It's not metal.
Okay, so go ahead. Who else?
Imagine Dragons, I've seen.
Okay.
They're way different than Metallica.
All right. Who else? I'll give me like your next like 7 like bands that you enjoy. That's not Metallica.
Like ZZ Top, like bands that are old.
ZZ
There are older
Top.
bands that I like. I'm telling you, bands that I've seen live.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Aerosmith.
Okay.
Springsteen.
Okay.
I've seen Bon Jovi. I'm not a huge fan,
Huge.
but they're okay. They're Bon Jovi. They're what they are. I like classic stuff. I like the Beatles, like Rolling Stones, Zeppelin, that kind of stuff. Let me wipe away the digital mess. There we go.
Digital jizz.
All kind of a cop out because they're not really still touring, so you can't really. Okay, go ahead. Who else?
Why is that a cop out? I'm not allowed to like a band unless they're touring.
Who else?
Who else?
Anybody that doesn't appear on Q1043, Frank? For Christ's sake, Jesus! Did you ever change the station?
I like Taylor Swift.
There you go. Do you like country music,
fine.
Frank?
Some country music.
Okay.
Yeah.
You really like Taylor Swift?
Yeah. She's good.
I'm not buying this. You bought an album?
No.
Have you seen her?
Illegally downloaded one?
Have you seen her live? Have you seen Taylor Swift live?
Can't hear you. What was that?
Have you seen Taylor Swift live?
No. She hasn't been around in a long time.
I'm not buying.
And I don't travel.
Can you name a song?
Yeah. Love Story. Gorgeous. Let's see. There's Bad Blood.
Oh, I like that one.
It's a good one.
I can sing that one.
Okay. I mean, that was really embarrassing for me to sit through, but okay. If that's your thing.
Hey, you're telling me I don't like other music. I like all kinds of music.
All right.
Most of the stuff I like outside of Metallica is like classic Rocky kind of stuff. What? I like some hip hop. I like Run the Jewels. I think they're great.
You like Run the Jewels?
Yeah.
Oh, very good, Frank. Okay.
I think Frank looked up a bunch of shit before we got to this episode. I was like, if I say these things, it'll sound really good.
No, I like Run the Jewels. They're good.
Look at that beauty.
Hey.
All right, with the appearance of a kid, that usually means it's the end of the episode.
She loves She loves earphones.
Does she?
She does. She likes to listen to music on them.
Hi, beautiful. Look at that
Hello.
new baby.
New baby.
Newest
hi.
baby?
She doesn't want the earpiece. Hi.
Good. Now she wants to get down.
Yeah, because she's like, this show stinks. I'm going to get on this thing. It's got a reputation.
Like, what?
If it's not the Wiggles, I don't want to talk about it.
You were going to say something about newest baby.
Oh, she's sleeping. Thank God.
Yeah. For people who are listening, I call Janine had a baby the same time as a friend of ours had a baby. So I called it. I can't remember which one I called new baby first.
I can't remember either.
And then I called the one who came after that newer baby. And then you had another baby, so I called that one newest baby. Because
new baby. Right.
I gave up remembering their names. It's too much.
Say, fuck it.
Yeah.
You.
The group hit
baby
like
one and
six.
baby two.
The group hit like 6 kids, and I can't be bothered anymore at this point.
Erin's got to tell me about everybody's names. I can't.
I can assure you,
Frank.
Frank doesn't know the names of the children. With me, it's a bit. With Frank, it's a genuine, real thing.
I am terrible with names to begin with.
Yeah.
Lucky I remember you two.
I bet you he could name the children of every member of Metallica. I guarantee.
No, I can't. No, I
And their
cannot.
godparents.
No, I can't.
Oh.
All right, I gotta go.
Let's see. There's James
films.
has Callie.
Stop it!
No,
I can't stand you.
that's all I know.
Right.
'Cause
Oh,
she
he really
performed
does
with them
know.
once.
See?
Because she performed with them once.
I gotta go film
all I
some thing. So I gotta go. We gotta leave it there.
Leave it there.
Thank you guys, and
Thank you
for listening and watching. Tell a friend. We're here having fun. AnthonyOnAir.com has all the details on how to get more info on the podcast.